Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Rust base build here. My name is Tech and I'll be showing you how to build this pretty cool solo base. It comes with a large furnace, mostly because of the recent update. I think it's devblog like 166. Stone is a lot harder to come by. So the large furnace comes more into play because those metal nodes are so easy to find. Let's hop right into this base and show you guys around. You'll see in here, this is where your large furnace is. And you got plenty of room in here to plant some hemp and even put hidden stashes too to hide your loot when you go offline. Here's what your starter 1x1 is going to look like basically. Similar design you see a lot of times that I build. 2 small boxes, 3 large. And then we're going to come through here. Close all these doors behind us. And here we've got our oil refinery. Got a couple of drop boxes in the side for some extra storage. And you know, you can put as many of these as you want up here. You can't see them from the outside, so nobody will know that they're there. And here we got 1 large box just for random stuff. And then in this room we have a large box and a small box. You can't really see the large box, but you can access it. It's in the back there. And then on top of this roof panel we have 2 more large boxes. This is a good way of keeping like your loot separated. The most important loot I would put underneath the roof. The other stuff on top, that would be like resources and like other things that you're willing to lose if you do get raided. But it's a good way to keep your loot like separated. And like I was saying, this base is fairly cheap to start up. For a solo player, you're going to start off basically just with a 1x1 with honeycomb. And then you're going to get that large furnace down as soon as possible, which is the goal. Because stone is a lot harder to come by. This base, obviously, in this build, a lot of it is made out of stone. But because you can get that furnace up right away, you can realistically make most of this base out of metal fragments if you can't find any stone around you. Or you can mix and match stone and metal frags, whichever way you want to go. But to me, that's the new key, with the stone being a lot more rare. Even though you get a lot when you farm it, you really want to get your furnace up and running as fast as possible, and a large furnace just makes the game 10 times easier compared to trying to use small furnaces to do it. And then just up here you can just see you got some like decent angles and everything. You can see the front door hanging off this roof in case someone's trying to camp you outside or anything like that. This section is also the section if you did want to keep expanding off this base instead of making another base. This is where you'd want to add on like more honeycomb. You could just throw some like triangles and squares and everything. And then you'd want to honeycomb around here a little bit more. Because right now, it's about 2 walls to loot. Doors would be like 5 doors or so. But this is definitely just the starter version of it. And it's easily expandable. Like, everything will fit together. There's no like confusing wall stacking or anything like that. So with that being said, let's go down and start showing you how to build this thing. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to build this the same way you would build it in-game basically. You're going to want to start off with just your easy 1x1 twig, convert it to stone, the basic stuff. It's definitely expandable, you know, I've made it so that you can find somewhere to start, get a couple of resources, and build from there. There's only 2,000 stone used at this beginning part, so that's like 2 nodes. So if you can find 2 nodes, then you can find the wood needed. You can toss this down just about anywhere. You do want it to be on relatively flat ground only because of the oil refinery. The oil refinery is really picky when it comes to where it gets placed. It's actually more picky than the large furnace. So that's one thing that you're going to want to look for. So you're going to want to try to make sure to get this tool cabinet as far back and as far into this corner as you can. And then after that, it's pretty simple. Just put in your small box, put your furnace in there. Obviously, you might not have all of this right at the beginning, but this is just the order that you're going to want to do it in. Get your campfire, your sleeping bag, get a couple large boxes ready. So to make this cheaper too, while you're doing this part, if you have metal ore, you really want to try to get it cooking. Obviously you're going to need it for some other things while you're playing, but you pretty much want to get that metal ore cooking as much as possible if you're not in an area where there's too much stone. Now for this last box here, a quick trick is to throw down a little box here, and that'll let you put this box up here a lot more easily, so you don't have to worry about having your roof open to try to do this. And then after that, you can either get rid of this box or keep it. It's always in my way if I leave it there, so I tend to just get rid of it. It's only like 100 wood or whatever. It's not a big deal. Alright guys, so once you have that double door on there, you're basically all set as far as your starter base goes. You know, basic 1x1 with an airlock. Show you the cost of everything. You see it down there in the bottom left. It's about 2,000 stone, 200 metal frags. You know, the cost of all the deployables like your doors and your boxes and the furnace and everything. That's all in there. Now, the next step that you're gonna want to do on like your wipe day really is to start laying down the honeycomb. Get your base a little bit safer from people trying to attack. So that's what we're gonna show here. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit too for you guys, as it isn't really that big of a build, so I don't want to keep you guys here too long. Now this part is the roof of your 1x1. Basically we're going to make it so if they do blow down from the top, it's going to take them 3 walls to get through. That way it prevents them from really doing that. And that's more of like down the road future proofing it, because eventually if you do expand out the front and everything, pretty much every direction of the base to your loot's going to be about 3 walls. So doing it now up top will save you the time later. And now after that, you're just going to want to go ahead and do the actual honeycomb all around the 1x1, and that'll make you pretty secure, especially if you get it all done, you know, right pretty quickly. And so now I'll show you guys on the bottom left again, the cost. At this point you're at like 8,800 stone, basically 8-9 nodes total. And that's really the main stage of your building that's going to be done. After that it's going to be all large furnace. You just want to set up the foundations for the large furnace and get that ready. Once you have the large furnace, you can do the rest of this base in metal frags. You won't even have to worry about stone anymore. That's why I said earlier you're going to want to start cooking that metal ore, so you can do like these foundations in sheet metal so nobody can pick through them. Now on these walls you want to pay attention to which way is facing. You'll see this like corner and this side right here are all facing outward, and then this side is all soft side like that. You're going to want to try to set it up exactly, well not try, but you're going to want to set it up exactly like that so people can't just break in through your furnace cheap and then pick right into your base. So now once those metal grills up there are up there, you are basically safe here to go between your large furnace and your main base. Then this will be your door to the outside. And I mean, that's basically where you're going to start off. You do have these soft walls right here. And so that's the next part that you're going to want to do, basically, is box that in, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But before you do all that, first thing you're going to want to do is come in this triangle, throw a roof right there, only that roof in that direction, and then as we build up, we'll go up there and we'll upgrade that to stone or sheet metal, whichever one you prefer. Like I said, at this point in the build, you can do the rest of the thing in sheet metal, since you'll have your large furnace going, and that'll save you a lot of stone. And if you notice too, while you're building this, you can stay relatively safe. That's one of the things I tried to do. People can obviously jump in. They could come through this door if you don't have that door on there. But for the most part, you should be fairly safe from people. They won't visibly see you out doing this stuff, so they'll have to come after you to really bother you while you're doing this. And at that point, you can just run back inside. It's one of the key things that I like to focus on when I'm building. So one of those things I want to do for the builds for you guys too. Alright, so now laying these boxes on here can be tricky. I've actually had the game sometimes just not want me to do it, but if I've exited the game and come back, it lets me do it. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, but you just want to put this box down as far down straight up against that wall as you can. And then the second box, what you're going to want to do is offset it a little bit. Put it a little bit farther back than the first one. Otherwise it'll stick up through the ceiling and you won't be able to put the ceiling on it. And once they're on there, go ahead and close that off, and then we can work on closing the rest of this off. So I know most of you guys won't have the gears right away too, so I'm going to show you the way that I've been doing it solo. Since I don't have a ladder hatch right off the bat, is I'll actually just build like this airlock a level up, and then I'll use like a ladder and stairs and stuff until I have the gears for a ladder hatch. But this way, you get that roof safety, like you can get up there, you have a second exit to your base, you can check who's around, and you get that early on. Having it early is always good. I actually think I forgot to show you guys me placing those boxes down there, but it's really simple. Obviously, you just put the large box all the way in the back. Here you can see, once you have the ladder up there, you get that roof access early on before you have the ladder hatch. Keep an eye on everything. And then once you do get it, you can just go ahead and throw the floor frame in here, upgrade that to sheet metal, and then go ahead and throw the ladder hatch in there. And there you can see those boxes I talked about earlier. Those are going to be pretty much your safest boxes up there because they'd have to blow through 2 walls to get to them. And then you could throw a box up here or anything really. You could even put small furnaces up there if you want to keep cooking even more. And now, this is a section, when you're building it, you want to make sure that this grass is as flat as possible because apparently the refinery is really picky. So one of those things you want to pay attention to at the beginning of the build. You may even want to just go ahead and put that refinery down as early as possible, even if it's out in the open. And then for drop boxes and stuff like that, this stuff you can do however you want. You don't even need them, obviously, but they give a whole lot of storage, and this would be otherwise like dead space. You could fill up this whole friggin' little tower with them, honestly. But yeah guys, that's pretty much the entire build. It's really basic. It's really easy to expand it even further if you wanted to. Like I said, where the front door comes out, that's where I would start adding the more triangles and stuff like that. And you can make a fairly big livable space there too, if you are playing with 2 people and not just solo. But if you guys have made it this far to the video and you haven't already, I would love if you guys would hit that subscribe button so you can get a notification for the latest builds that we have on this channel. as well as whenever I release new solo series episodes, which you guys have been doing really well with supporting me on, and I really appreciate it. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great night, and I will catch you in the next video.